Shami Masechta Ma'aser Daf Chof Gimel Beis Nishmas Gita Basava Mashchaim Beis Yitzchak Yashchaim Yitzchak for Yerushalmי. Okay, Ramalei jetzt die Gemara. Yesterday we saw a Moisi Pe'alov that the Moshe learns Pshat and Moisi Pe'alov that the reason is because Ein Moichen Es HaTevel. You're not Perei Es Choyvoi, you're not to be Perei Choyvoi B'shvil with Mois Tevel. It's a L'chayre, that's the Pshat as Mishtashim. Mishtashim means Rashi learned you're not to have Iska, you're not to do a profit with the money of Tevel. So Samech says in Pei Gimel Halacha Beis, the Shah we spoke yesterday about Mishtashim. What's the Taish of Mishtashim? What's the Isa of Mishtashim? Hine Metzina Hamazik Momen Shein Lo Tovim. Tevel L'chayre is Momen Shein Lo Tovim. He's potter. So he takes the Tevel and he uses this Tevel to pay the Payalim. It's Momen Shein Lo Tovim. It's potter. Chein Mehenem Momen Shein Lo Tovim potter. Somebody has enough for money which is L'chayre money of Trumas and Maises Shein Lo Tovim. Is potter. The Eichel Matanas Kuhuna potter. Matanas Kuhuna is Momen Shein Lo Tovim. Is potter. Cholze Amru, B'onse is Geroinim Beis HaMelech. The Melech comes and he takes away from his Goyden the taxes. In B'choivoi, if he's mechuyev to pay the taxes, Chayav La'aseh, B'kishim to come Mishtashvei. He has to give now other money to the Shevet. It's the Momen Shein Lo Tovim. Harei the Kivin. He had to pay the Trumas and Maises to the Kohen. And from the taxes that he has to give to the Melech, they took away the Trumas and Maises, the Tevel. It's as if the money is still here, which the Melech took away. That Tmura Shal Matanas Kuhuna, he calls it Tmura Shal Matanas Kuhuna, Nisha Tachas Yodai, V'hava K'moi, the Gufa Matanas Nisha Tachas Yodai. It's as if the money is still here, which the Melech, or the government took away from him. Ubisnayu Binayu, Metzimi Yodai B'Kocha. When do we say this Mazik Matanas Kuhuna, this Momen Shein Lo Tovim, you bought $100 it's not here anymore. But if the geld in the house door, then you're not potter. Time to Mishnah Melech. Time to Sameach. What see me other bakoche? Kein hochi nami kivin the Mishtasi. Shaloi nisha tachas yoda. He still has all the money. Have ki ilu hanach keshute is nai benayu, the one that the Melech took away. The house do. The mali im hatumura nisha tachas yoda or guf adobe is tachas yoda is their portion. So the reason why Mishtashim is chayiv, zog do Sameach, the Zach in the house do. The Ena tzigin chap the Zach, you pay the B'choivei, that's a good nish. Still here. So matter the issa of paying off Tevel, Perei Choyvei with Tevel, like the understanding of the Mishnah Melech is because the Zach in the house do.
Mishnah Melech?
Oh, it's a Melech. I'm sorry. I said Mishnah Melech because that's the next thing I want to just mention here. So Rambam on this Zach in Perek Yudalid in Bikurim. Perek Tes Halacha Yudalid. Behema Shleihuma Matnesera Mutar Lechem Mimeno. After the game is Roya L'chaim B'Keva has to go to the Kohanim. That's the Matnas Kuna. Before you take off the Matnas Kuna, Mutar Lechem Mimeno. It's Mutar. Is the Matnas Kuna. She'ena doime leTevel. Tevel tov noch neshessen before you give it to the Kohen. So why over here we say by the Zoy L'chaim L'Keva it is Mutar? She'ena doim el tevel, sharei matanas kuhuna muvdolim. Zohar l'chaim l'keva is a specific place. The Zohar l'chaim l'keva is specific places in the behemoth. This belongs to the kohen. That's not what he ate. He ate something else. Matanas asmi osli yisrael loichlam, elbishus kohen.
No din of Russia.
Oh, there's no din in the Sina. So that's what he's saying.
Russia. What?
You have to give it, yeah, it's a matana. But it's din in the Sina. You have to give it to the Chaim l'keva. You have to give it to the kohen.
To eat before the scene, I could hear. To eat before Russia. He didn't take off to yet. It's still connected to the baby.
Oh. Yeah. No. But Tumas and Meiser Tevel is not as an instant Tevel. Huh? Yeah. Kutzos, but it pays heads is still Tevel. You're not mafish Tevel. It's a Misim de Shemayim. No jokes. Jokes. So, okay, but this is not Noy Behemis. The Kabbalah is not Noy Bismanazet. But like Kabbalah, he's saying you're mazing the matnas kuhuna from the Behemoth. Matanas kuhuna muvdolim. Matanas asin osli so loichlam elabish kohen. Obi wachlam ezikon emochan. Now, if he ate the matnas kuhuna or ezikon or mochron, ain't a chayav l'shalom. On the Amatas itself, the Zoya, L'chaim, the Keva, this is Mamish Muvdolim. If he eats that himself, ain't a Chaim L'Shalom. Of course, right? There's Al-Bazach, there's Beturim Zamash, ain't Mamish, ain't L'Tovim. Ain't L'Tovei Yadua. So that's not the Chaim L'Shalom. But Koin Oisem, Afa Pish, ain't L'Shoy, Areze, Muta, L'Oichlon, Shamatonas, Kuhuna, and Exolis. Okay. So they're just agav. So this is something we spoke about yesterday. So I'm mentioning it now. And this is pshat into the Mishnah. Push pshat into the Mishnah. The matanas. What's the matanas? We can't use these matanas, these payers, because this is matanas. Was not no truma in the vayigdor truma, and you can't be payei chayva to the payalim. You can't use something which is tevel to pay your chayvas. If you use something to pay your chayvas, agam was mamash ein letovim. But you pay chayvus. This is Mishtarashi, even though be'etzem it's mutter. There's no chiyuv to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it because it's ain't like tovim. Nonetheless, it ain't like tovim, but there's an instance to do it. That's how Shedo in the Pnei Moshe. But the Rambam is saying there's no chiyuv to pay for it. So he says here. So you have different shittas here. So one way to learn pshat into the Mishnah is not because the mom is ain't like tovim. His pshat is because it's a hukva. Once it's become kiveya for maises, when you make a deal that you're going to give it to him, that is Mecca is kiveya for maises. If it's a minat Torah, we'll soon see in the Gemara. Minat Torah, the Torah is mechayev. That's not Mecca. That's not kiveya for maises. But if you did it yourself, something which the Torah is not mechayev, other malachas, then it's kiveya for Mecca. That's why it's also. But the name Moshe is going with the pshat is that it's also to be chayvay with tevel. So also the very chayvus metevel. It doesn't really jive over here because the that's spotted. If it's spotted, make it chastin. So I don't want to get stuck over here. It's like a longer sugi here. Over the Oichlon, you put the member of Chizde, this is the Mikukas. Matnas Kuhun, the Oichlon, put him the Shamaitame, Ibo is aiming Bishum the Siv, Zeh year, the Mashma, the Boiden Kayom is Chayav Akos Litno. When do you have to give the Matonas to the Kohen if they're here? Ain't Kayomas, ain't Chayav Lishalim. So, man, if somebody ate it, not for Shgeb. Ibo is aiming Bishum the Havlay Mom, Shen Leitovim. Mom, Shen Leitovim, so, man, the Pshat is, there is Sakinis to do it, but there's no Teveya. The mashmim they shemayin can say what you're going to achieve. There's no teveya, so that's why you put it. Okay. All right. Let me get a bit right. Go to Gemara. Hamoisi peyalav. Chav gimel on base. So steht doch in der Mishnah. Noch einmal. Chav alav. Steht in der Mishnah. Hamoisi peyalav l'sodeh b'zman shein Alem Zoiners, Ochlem Patum, because the malacha that he did is not a malacha that the Torah is mechayiv you to pay them for that malacha. is ein lem mezonis, oichel peturim, they're potter, because it's not keveya. Av yeshel mezonis, that he made a deal, he's going to give him mezonis betis mekach, oichel achas achas, minatena, one at a time. Lo min asav, lo min akupa, because that's keveya for maisis. That's the Gemara. Lo min asav, lo min akupa. That's Loshan Mishnah. Lo min amuktzah. Muktzah is a place where you dried it out. So, kamod temet hamon. This is in the Mishnah. Malakit achas achas. V'oichel. One at a time. You gotta do it because that's not a kivis. This is a temporary thing. Im tzirif chayiv, and if you mitzaref it, then it's keveya. You do it more than one at a time. There's av hochi kain. There's al. So what's my muktzah? Amar Rabbi Yitzchok. So lo min asal, lo min akupa, because it's mitzaref it. It is mitzaref it, but it's also because it's keveya. So Rabbi Yitzchok, muktzah also oisei kemitzuref. Take it from a place where it's muktzah. Muktzah means we put it out to dry it out. That's also. Look to Moshe. Nich lo min asal, lo min akupa. Ganzerech. Asal min akupa. Mipnei kishoichlim min ilu shemachnisim b'kelim. Put it in with kelim. You bring it in with a basket. It's kiviyas have it. That's very kiviyas. Kiviyas is also because you kiviyas. No, nishmin asal, nishmin akupa, lo min amuktzah. Bitmir. Why shouldn't muktzah be the same achas achas, one at a time? Muktzah is a place where you put it out, to spread it out, to dry it out. It's like nigma malachta. Why should it be also? And for the Gemara, muktzah also is a kemitzurif. Because now you bring it into the silo where you want to assemble it. Have a kemitzurif. This is may not sitif. Once you make it sitif, this is showing that what that's kevei lemais. Look at the folder. What's going on with the muktzah? Why should that be also the bishlam is halva kupa tzavah big five? Tava the muktzah and shom dova shem tzavah shuminochim be'ara. It's started out in the ground. It's put out to dry out. Ma'ashin about this not bepikum laket v'yiftenami kishoychel achas achas. But the Gemara, the what also is a kumuktzah. They made a kumuktzirif. Look at Asherilla on the right side in the middle. Leimen amuktzah bitmiyah. The Chacham. Mishnah. It's considered. Bitmiyah. The Leinim Melachta Vahavu Lechoshush Ahu Tzirif. So that's you get tzirif right there. It's not even nigma malachta. You put it to dry it out. It's in the middle of the season, the middle of the process. And for the Gemara, it's like the Marashillah, come on, the time at Tamam, Periko Yoive, might have made a the Akaya Gufa Malaki, somebody purchase it. The Vin and Goyden, Boychalachas, Achasapot, Loichosh, Goyden, it's not considered a Goyden. Goyden is a silo where you put it into, assemble it, like a Mechachat Lisha. Umishani muktzah also oising gemitzurah v'tameh. The kivin the kitzis lehem mizaynas. He gave them mizaynas for this job. Baal Bayis said, "I'm going to pay. It's not min hatoyra. V'ochel min hamuktzah, and there you're going to eat from the place where you dry it out. V'choshev ki'ilu yichid loy mashu oichel v'have nigmer melachtem v'goyim." I like no surah. This says nigmer melachta. It's not nigmer melachta. Out the rasirilla. Why should it be also? You can't be kaveh something which is not nigma malachta. If it's nigma malachta, it's kaveh. If it's loy nigma malachta, it's nish kaveh. Ram also says here that it's talking shloy nigma malachta. So freiter akasha bebazoi bivetes mitzurif. What? Right? The chacham have to come and make it here. Azayin kaveh. In Italy, so the Rasillah, the mighty hachmas nisan, the going shoysim b'malacha. They're doing a malacha shein oichlim min hatoyda. This is a malacha which is not the malacha which the Torah says can afshecha or shetach apostle in the Torah that you have to give. These are malachas the Torah is not mechayiv you to pay the poyalim. You're going shesocher la'adir lekashkes tachas ilan. They're weeding the payers, the tuah, they're taking away the bad ones for the good ones, whatever they're doing. They're not doing a malacha which is min Torah chayiv to pay them for the wages. So oichel min Torah potter. Somebody is min Torah does some megalan showing that that's not kaveh for mine. That's something which you're not paying them for their work, but the Torah is paying them. Agam, you're paying them, but the Torah says you have to do it. So mele is potter. Afilu kitzes lemon zoinus because a chiyuv natoyre. So mele is a melocha she'ein chayiv. What the tzid of chayiv? I lechoyre bazoyis. Why is some two at a time is called the tzid of? Hainu shtaim kedisa peik apoyalin. As michila akro, he kops him k'ome goyno. Oh, he says two at a time is ome goyno. Ome means to make bundles, and you're making bundles. Two of them in one, you can't make a bundle. Two, you make a bundle. So mele the chacham gezok this is us. Pirishashi ain't goyre b'lei kibbutz. Ain't kibbutz bochus b'shnayim. A kibbutz is two. Sure. So that's what he says here. That's the reason that this is called kiveya. Wusstet sich mit der Kasche, der Geweita Kasche, that what? That Muktzeh, the Chayre, is Dovish Leinig Menachtai. Is Dovish Leinig Menachtai. Why is it called, why you Chayiv? So he's answering, what's the teretz? So the teretz is the Chayre because he's making over here a kibbutz. And about you make a kibbutz, even though it's Bem Tzavaida, so it's Samech and the Posik, so the Rabbanon came and they make it looks like Abad the Rabbanon. The mom does gasset. Ein Pishur Rabbeinu Shimshon v'Rambam. Zoekt de Gemara weiter. Oichel achas potter. The way you do it, you eat achas in your potter. Only the base Rabbi. Oichel kedaku potter. It's kedaku. You can eat it achas. Kedaku is potter. Rabbi Yoini boy, man non kaimen. Was halt me du jetzt? Im b'shesachre lases ime bezeisem. Kolam moide shu oichel kedatu potter. I'm against the Mishnah boy. It's the next part of the Mishnah. Asaychas apoy lasim Mishnah Gimel. Chaf Aleph and Aleph. Asaychas apoy lasis ime bezeisem. He hired him to work in the olives. Amalam nas loichel zeisem. And you're going to get paid from the zeisem for your work. Oichel achas a potter. Vimtzir b'schayiv. Talk to Pnei Moshe. 4 lines in the bottom. Asaychas apoy lasim ime bezeisem. Fazig Moshe. Zochel and nachish bezeisem. Nachish means to weed, to take out the bad ones. He's also taking out the roots. That's not a melach min ha-Torah. He made a tanai. The balabai is beisna apoel sheyochel b'zeisem. Kol shein oichel b'nei ha-tanai. If the achila is coming because of the tanai that the balabai is made, that's very mekva the rabban. That's very kaviyas. If it's min ha-Torah, the achila is min ha-Torah. That's not you. That's the Torah gave it to you. So that's not considered kavua. But if you give it, so it's kavua. So these malachas of the zeisim is something tanai of the balabayas. It's an employment agreement. So mele it is nishkev is kaveh is a mekach. Then it's mutter because you ate it one at a time. That's not kaveh. Imsirev chayiv chen nachish b'tzolim. So Shetach in the Mishnah. Is na apoyel imoy amnas lechol yerek. To b'tzolim, that's a malacha that's not in the Mishnah. So it's not in the Torah. It's not in the Torah. Adami malacha. It's muta achas. Look at the Rashi on the left side of the bottom. Lechol zeisim. The isna im balabayis amnas yochel havelei ken mekach. So zevi mekach. Because you're doing it. The balabayis the vimtzir of shtayim v'lo yochel the chayil aleu shem goyim. Is that the Rabbi say? What's this? Because it's a goyim. And a goyim is a kviyas. That's what you do when you finish working in the field. You put into the goyim. Goyim is the silo. So here, if you're mitzvah of it 2 at a time, that's considered Hashem goyim. The chum does gas. It's also the Rabban. If the work was an achish b'tzolim to prune them, to take like the weeding, la'akar b'tzolim haroyim to take out the bad ones mibein hayofim. The katam ala I do 1 at a time. Im sirev chayiv tanya b'tzefte. The yachas kalach biyodov yochel mekatem ala b'yochel 1 at a time. Sirev does tamilish. So gets the Gemara back on Chav Gimel base. Im sochre in the middle of the Yom. Im sochre las imoy begufin shel zeisim. Kol am moide shuloy yachas apot. Everybody's masking 1 at a time is mutter, even though you made it tonight, because achas is not a goyim. But the Rashi explains it. It's not a goyim. Who put it? Im sirechai. Eloki non kaiminon benedo amachloikis b'shesacher lenachash ima b'zeisim min the basra lenachash b'solim. Omer lo yamnas lechel yerek mekatim ala v'oichel b'mitziv b'schai. Then if you make it sidif by the b'solim, by the onions, not by the zeisim, then b'schai. V'chanan yishol lechavi ma'u ein poter d'tin enocher. What's made this? Look at the Bnei Moshe Zoy. Kenan kaminon in the middle. Yisachel lenachash min the basa. Kloimer. Kinashminim in the Eide b'seif lenachash b'b'solim. We're talking the onions. Wachinam b'reisha lenachash b'zeisim. He's weeding out the bad ones. B'ho pligi. Yetzid do the machlokes. The Tana de Mesnisin ke'oise b'mechuba b'shor she'ena gemar malocha hu da'avya. We're talking it was not nigma. It was outside, spread out to dry it out. He's only getting it now from something which is nigma malachtoid, not menatoid. It's only his tanai. To have a kir mekach for the fish of masnisin. Tana the base of the Rebbe, according to the Rebbe, which is arguing on the Mishnah, the choshelei ka'oise b'mechuba, tos the nish azoi b'mayich tamaisim b'mechuba, oil ve'ena oise b'gufu and shalilon hazaisim. He's not doing it in the tree, in the olive tree, he's doing it in the tolish, in the olive itself. So he said, Minatoid is not eat. This is a machlokes if he's doing it in the zaysim and not in the tree, in the zayis tree. So this is the oichem minatoid or not. So the Rebbe Galton that oichem minatoid, it is keveya because you're making a deal with him and you have to pay him, and that's something which you don't have to do. That's says keveya. If it would be in the tree itself, the Torah is mechayev you to pay him. Ma atat poter the hoche. If is the time who high uptu the tenin and hoche b'masnis and boichel achas achas, why you poter? Buy something which you're giving him. If you're giving him, it's keveya. Shiva loy mishum oichel aray b'sod shu poter b'al oichel aray. So the man is not a tzirif, so the man is poter. And then the rasa sima b'zeisim, the left column. Limsoik zeisim in he's taking off the olives from the tree. Oichem minatoyre, he's not eating minatoyre. The noise of the kelish of balabais. Oichem gedaku poter, the siv. Kin nafshach, ma nafshach echel poter, afilistayim, af nafshach shel poil. His last is beguf and ayin, the order the kasha tachas zeisim. They know oichem minatoyre. Not like minatoyre, because you're not doing it in the tree. But he gave him permission to eat because he's paying him the balabais. He's adding on to the but the Torah is mechayev. We say mechayev like piggy up. He's not mechulik on mitzaref over here. However, the nachashim bezeisim lohakol me ala ilan hazeisim haroyim. If he's taking off from the tree itself, hazeisim haroyim shleichishu hazeis hayofim. They shouldn't destroy the better ones because they make it too many zeisim on the tree. It makes it shvacher. In the basic loymim in the Tony Boselochi Mashma the Tony Sefer the Nachman Solim they should damn the Sefer the Masisim Abona Sabi the Besid of Chayev if he's making more than one they ain't oichel minatoyre not even minatoyre so it's something which you're giving him it's Kaveh Lemekah and you're doing two at a time that's why it's us Afagav the early Kedesh of Alabayis Ika Pula Mishum Tikin Achenim Shem Mechuborim Voimdim the time of the Rebbe Mefash to come back okay this we'll see tomorrow here. When is a chiyuv d'raisa with d'raisa? When is not a chiyuv d'raisa? But it's not a chiyuv d'raisa. That's keveya. This is also. If it's a chiyuv d'raisa, then it's not keveya. So it's good.